Well, Leeds United fans, an eventful game. Ipswich 3, Leeds United 4, in a little bit of a different setting today. My camera is knackered, so make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. No, guys, I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate the likes, comments, and obviously subscribers. It's been going crazy recently, nearly on 30k, so thank you so much for that. But we're back here with a match review. Ipswich 3, Leeds 4. Once again, a little bit sour, just the end there when Connor Chaplin scored a goal. It's just defensive frailties again with Leeds United. But listen, the front four was scintillating, they were superb, they were scary. And we have to bear in mind at Portman Road, Ipswich have barely been beaten. They've barely been beaten. They've been beaten once this year. So it's a good win for Leeds United down there. I didn't expect it at the start of proceedings. I'd have taken a 1-1 draw. But at the end of the day, Leeds have gone down there. They've scored 4 goals. We'll start with the negatives before we get into the positives. The press, I don't think is quite there yet, and I think on the ball we've been much better in the other 3 games, But this was probably the hardest opponent, I should say, the hardest opponent. But it just felt very, very easy for them to cut through our midfield, and it didn't really seem like there was a constant press throughout the game. And I thought, Leeds were very sloppy on the ball at points. There's sometimes where we're short, sharp, and quick in possession, which was where Leeds was successful in the transition. But I felt Ipswich were cutting through quite a lot. Now, we did have about a 15-minute spell where, as I mentioned at the start, we were scintillating. We were absolutely unbelievable, unplayable. And I think Premier League teams would have struggled to cope with Leeds United at that point. The front four were absolutely on pomp, and they were on fire, on song. It was great to see. It's great to see Perot score. I thought Rutter was really, really good today. The best game we've seen of him in a Leeds United shirt. Him and Perot were sort of interchanging. I mentioned on the video previously that personally I think Perot can fit into this system, but he's not a standard Daniel Farke number 9, and you saw that today. Very much of the Harry Kanes dropping deep, trying to receive the ball. So sometimes you'd see Rutter on the last man, and other times you'd see Perot on the last man. Thought it was quite good. The interchanging as well of Nonto and Sinisterra. Sometimes they'd, in the first half, they changed wings as well, which I thought worked, freshened it up a little bit. But I think Leeds won that game because of the front four. That sounds really obvious and basic, but I think that, Ipswich were quite healthy competition for Leeds United today, and at points it was a little bit frustrating, the gifts that we gave them. The Cody Drame one, I think Farke did the right thing taking him off. I thought it was ruthless, but it was right, and it brought me back to the Bielsa days where Bielsa would sub players on and sub them off, but it was stark. It was obvious what Farke was doing with this. Drame has been brought on, he's been given a chance. Byram's injured. We'll touch on Byram just a little bit before we get on to Drame. This is what I was talking about, everybody. This is why we need fullbacks, because Sam Byram is a walking injury, and he has been his entire career. There's some people who would settle with Sam Byram. That this is going to be a big, big issue for Leeds United throughout the season. If the fullbacks aren't sorted. Now, I mentioned previously in a video as well that fullbacks now in the modern game are arguably the most important position, or one of the most important positions on a football pitch, to create underloads, overlaps, and they also set the impetus for an attack as well. And if you're a good 1v1 defender as well, it's a massive benefit as well. So yeah, they set the tone for an attack, and they set the tone for defending as well. And I think it's just absolutely imperative that you get those positions right. I thought Sam Byram was doing okay against Wes Burns in the first half. The referee forgot that he had a flag in his hand which he could put up. I've never seen a more biased refereeing display than that, by the way. It was utterly shocking. You had Sam Morsey, who should have had about 6 yellow cards in the game. Luongo should have had 3 yellow cards. This is what I'm saying, everybody. They should have been sent off twice, both of them. Balls going out of play, and the referee's not calling it for Ipswich. Blatant Leeds United decisions not been given. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's by the by. Shocking. It was, Ipswich had 12 men today, 14 actually, because the linesmen were on the side as well. It felt like, that flag was going up all the time for Leeds, and their first goal is the most evident offside you will ever see. And Wes Burns, apparently, he's either unbelievable at reading every single ball over the top because he stays in line with every single Leeds defender, or the linesman just wasn't keeping up with play, which it felt like in that first half. Every time Leeds went forward, offside. Every time they went forward, never offside. But, you play to the whistle, and Leeds struggled to do that, in my opinion, for elements of that first half. They were quite lucky with that first goal. It was a massive Joe Rodon deflection. There wasn't really even an Ipswich player. I thought Leeds had decent cover there, but their second goal was just a joke, wasn't it? It was Cody, and Roden should have roofed it. I don't know what he's trying to do, shepherding the attacker. Just roof it, just aggressively attack the ball. And it felt like Leeds were trying to be too cute there. You just get rid of the danger. Obviously, their third goal as well, Connor Chaplin, decent strike from the edge of the box, frustrating at the end again. But also, you've got to look at the calibre of this Ipswich side. You know, they're a very, very good team. They're at this standard, and they're very good in League One as well. They were very good in League One, unbelievable in League One, and in the Championship so far. You know, were they top of the table at the start of proceedings, or they were top three? Definitely. And yeah, it was a good win for Leeds today, a really good win down there. But I just want to touch on Cody Drama. I think that is probably going to be his time at Leeds, and I think he was given the chance right there to come into a pressure cooker situation. I know you're at left back. I know it's not ideal, but to deliver. And he was abysmal. He was nothing short. I mean, it wasn't just one mistake. If you leading up to the goal as well, there was a lot of issues. Wes Burns was getting in behind him. I did think there were some offside decisions, but Cody was getting caught constantly. And in possession as well, he was woeful. He was giving the ball away really, really bad. And then you had Jamie Shackleton come on, who's in the same position as Cody Drama, not even a fullback really by trade anymore, more of a central player as we know, coming in and playing okay. Especially, you know, the fourth goal was absolutely superb from Jamie Shackleton. Really impressive, you know, driving through the heart of Ipswich and playing a lovely weighted pass to Sinisterra, who naturally finished it off. But Joel Perot, no party without Perot, or no Perot, no party, whatever it is. Yeah, great to see him get it on the score sheet. I thought his touch was exemplary. I thought he was very, very silky, very good at bringing the ball down and involving others. Weight of pass once again was very, very good. Could have had a hat-trick today. And this is the thing, we could have had a lot of goals today. I felt... you know, a few one-on-ones. I thought Ipswich's chances were more like half chances, shots from the edge of the box. Okay saves from Melier, where I thought a few of them, especially towards the end, were a bit Hollywood. It's like, Elan, what are we doing? Can we catch some of these? But aside from that, I thought it was really set-piece based, but I think it was the possession-based stuff that was frustrating me with Leeds United. It was giving the ball away, especially at the start of the second half. They had a real press on Leeds United every time we had the ball, and they were engaging that press when certain personnel... I think Pascal was getting targeted a little bit when certain personnel in that back line had the ball. Ipswich would engage in a press. But overall, really good from Leeds United. Overall, you know, very frustrating the goals. But you guys know, for me, you build from the back. And to get that win, to go into a new week, to get some signings in, we need fullbacks, and that has been made absolutely imperative. We need a central attacking midfielder. I felt there was points in that game where Leeds United needed a midfielder who could dictate the tempo, to get his foot on the ball and calm the side down. You know, if they're pressing constantly, can that midfielder move beyond the press? Can he glide beyond the press and start to move Leeds up the field, win free kicks, do all those cute things that proper central attacking midfielders do, and ultimately end the game, you know, with a swing of your boot. And someone like Amiri, for instance, maybe someone like a Paintsil, but Amiri in particular, you know, can end the game like that because of his quality, and that's what you need. But you also need a linker. You need someone to link those areas, and at the minute, I don't think we have that. I don't think we have that link. As I said, I thought Rutter and Perot, in terms of that 9 and 10 balance, one going 9 at points, one going 10 at points, I thought worked really well, but not a natural number 10 in there for Leeds, and I think we need that natural number 10 in there. It was great to see Cini score. It was great to see Nonso score, and yeah, fantastic. You know, all four scoring. Will we keep hold of Cini towards the back end of the window? I think he's the most important player in that side for me. He's just top class. He's top class, and I cannot believe he's playing in the Championship. Everton have just been beaten today, so you do wonder if they're going to panic a little bit and try chuck 25 million at Leeds, or maybe try get him on loan. Who knows what's going to go on. But a really important week for Leeds, but a really important week that started really, really well. You know, that is a massive win. Probably the toughest away ground to go to as well in the division. You know, if you're looking at statistics, records, data, all that sort of stuff, the quantitative analysis. So overall, great win for Leeds. An investment still needed in key personnel. Central attacking midfielder, fullbacks are absolutely imperative. You know, you get a good balance in there when it comes to fullbacks, when it comes to central attacking midfielders. Leeds, as the youngsters say, will be cooking. And I think you've seen today that going forward we're frightening, and you've still not added Somerville into that mix. You know, you've still not added him into that mix properly. A central attacking midfielder is clearly someone who they are targeting. A full-back is clearly someone who they are targeting. But I'd like to see us go for a left-back as well, not just the right-back, who, you know, it seems to be, you know, the rumours that we're seeing at the minute when it comes to Jed Spence and obviously previously Max Aarons. But really happy with Jed Spence. If that one got done, that'd be a brilliant signing. You know, really good 1v1 defender and an absolute an absolute a sort of phenom going forward, and we saw that in the season when Nottingham Forest went up and he was just the star player. Yeah, guys, so loads of positives. Leeds have won 4-3, pissed off a little bit towards the end, but really infused with the fact that we've won again. We've scored 4. It's our first win of the season, and I think it's going to be the first of many. The good thing is when you've got deficiencies in areas of the pitch, your front four, when it's a front four like that, are going to be able to get you out of it. But we need to be able to invest in their collective, because you can't always rely, as we saw last season and the season before, on just the front line bailing you out, and that is a real naive strategy. So guys, leave your comments in the section below. Really interested to hear what you think. I always read every single comment. We're going to be doing a little bit of a 5 things we learned on the Patreon tomorrow, so if you want to check out that, a bit of bonus content, that'd be great. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Leeds have won the first game of the season away at Portman Road. Let us know, as I've said multiple times, let me know how you feel. Guys, it's been a pleasure. See you in a bit.